Hey Cole, I wanted to give you some feedback on your responses here. I'm reading it, that's why I keep looking off to the side here, but I appreciate you getting it in early and you addressed all of the aspects that I asked you to. So, what I'd like to talk mostly about that you talked about here is let's talk about the vocal. You say he's very powerful with moving his words, the added emphasis and volume. So he's changing up his inflection, he's changing his tone, changing up his voice entirely when it's appropriate to keep that audience captivated. And so that's something that you want to do when you give your speeches is, look at your written version of your speech, and where is there a tone shift? Where should you shift your tone? Is there a spot where you could use a break, a pause, like a dynamic pause? So there's a difference in stumbling over your words and pausing because you forget than having a dynamic pause, an intentional pause, and he does that sometimes here. So that could be really powerful in your speech and can really make your delivery from here to here. Let's see what else you have written down here. Talk about his volume and his rate was considerably perfect. I do agree with you. When you say he sped up a little bit, slowed down, it was pretty perfect. I don't think that he could have done any better with that. And so I get that he's a professional speaker, and you may think, oh my gosh, I can't speak like him. I'm not asking you to. But what is one thing that you could do? Take one thing from vocal delivery, this next speech, and say, what can I take away from this speech, this discussion, and implement it into my next speech? Could I add a pause? Could I add a break? Could I change up my tone? Could I slow it down, speed it up? Even with the physical delivery, is there one aspect of what he did that you can do? Maybe move around the room just a little bit. Maybe use the hand gestures a little bit. So, every time you give a speech, add one more thing. So, you're doing really well in the class. You're off to a good start, and we'll see you tomorrow.